What up, my poker peeps, and welcome back to Hatter Chatter. This is going to be episode 8, dealing with losses. That's right. It's been a rough week, on and off the felt, and we're going to talk about some things. And let's go ahead and start it off the right way, though. And I need to talk about a very important thing. I want to send out my prayers and thoughts to my good friend, Hatter Army family, the mama, Froggy. She had some medical things, had to go to the hospital, but she is on her way to recovery. Finally, the doctors have figured out what she had going on with her leg, and they done got her on the road to recovery. So just want to start off by saying this is the most important thing of the week, is sending my thoughts and prayers to Froggy. Get well soon. WSOP's coming up. We got to have you there and bouncing around. All right. So let's jump into the week that was. Monday through Friday, we grind a little bit online. We'll update a lot of that when we get to the big board at the end of this episode. This episode will probably be a little shorter than others. But we went and played a live session Saturday. And also I've had some things going on in my personal life that I had to kind of deal with. I've always been a procrastinator, and I don't like to face a lot of things, especially when it comes to up close and personal, I guess, emotional stuff. So, but I created this podcast to have something to talk about and to show the human side of me as a poker personality and content creator. I'm not even sure if I'm a poker player anymore, y'all. Anyway, so let's jump into the session. We go to Orange Park Best Bet, and I told y'all I want to take some more shots at 2-5, but we start off at 2-2, and early on I get 9-7 spade, and I call a $6 raise. It's 2-2 in for 200. Flop comes ace-8-6. The original raiser bets 15. Of course, I'm gonna call. Turn is the 10. Bink City, we have the straight. He bets 15 with only 20 behind, so I go ahead and put them all in. He calls, and we go ahead and hold against whatever he had. He never showed, but we scoop there, and we're up early. That's right. We was up almost $100 early until this hand comes about. I have king, queen, heart, and we get flop of king of clubs, jack of hearts, 8 of hearts. Now, I did call a raise from a tighter opponent, but I say tighter at the moment. I didn't really know. He was just kept on showing up with good hands. He was on fire. It's always rough when you're playing the guy that's on fire. But like I said, I got king, queen, heart, and the flop comes king clubs, jack of hearts, 8 of hearts. So with this hand right here, I'm willing to go to battle with it. He bets 15. I go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and start pumping up the pot here. I got top pair and the king high flush draw. It's time to pile money in, y'all. We ain't going to play scared. And I'm bumping up to 50. He makes the call. Now, when he makes the call, alarm bells should be going off a little bit to me, but in the moment, I'm just looking at my hand. I like what I got. I got a ton of equity, even if he does have some weird 2-pair or ace-king. Ace-king was really the hand I was worried about. The turn is a 3 of diamonds. He checks to me. I bet 50. He jams 92. It's only 42 more. I can't fold. I definitely have outs against pretty much anything he has. So I go ahead and make the call. He shows jack. So a set of jacks. I'm actually in really bad shape now. The queen does me no good. Like I need a heart. Of course, the heart don't come. It's 7 of diamonds on the river, and now we're stuck 70 on the day. We go ahead and add back on. And, well, first off, we punt away like 50 chasing a dumb draw. This was just a little bit of, I wouldn't say tilt, just frustration because I flopped so strong. There ain't no way I can get away from that previous hand. So we go ahead and add on after that. Now we're in for 300. In my notes, I say shake it off. That's right. So we end up getting a set of 7s right after that. The problem with 2-2, and it's what frustrates me sometimes, is I end up flopping a set of 7s in a 3-way pot, and the one guy who short stack shoves it in there. Of course, I'm going to make the call. But he shoved like 30 bucks, and I mean, I don't really get a lot of value out of my hand. So with all that going on, I'm feeling a little frustrated. I battle back up to 230. I was in for 300, so I end up cashing out and going to 2-5. So we lose 70 at the 2-2 game. We'll jump back into the final statistics at the end. So we get to the 2-2 or 2-5 game. Of course, I have a 2-5 curse. To bring y'all up to speed, this is probably my seventh or 8th session at 2-5, and it's went bad 5 out of the 7 times. Like, really bad. Like, coolered to death, major suck outs. Like, I got a 2-5 curse that I'm trying to break. So yeah, a lot of that's in my head, but it's something I got to battle through. So I get pocket nines. The big blind raises to 25. I go ahead or there's a raiser. I'm in the big blind, excuse me. I call the 25. Four to the flop as 5 of clubs, 7 of hearts, 9 of clubs. So now we have the gutter and an overpair. The original raiser goes ahead and bets 25. Everybody else folds out of the way. And I make the call, of course. The turn is the 4 of spades. This time he checks to me. I think about taking a stab here, but I don't know. I feel like I need to, I don't know. Just, if he did have, I thought he had two types of hands. I thought he either had an overpair or he had like ace king, ace queen type hand. I probably should be going ahead. I got plenty of equity, but as y'all know, the king queen hand didn't go well for me, so I go ahead and check it back. The river is the 2 of diamonds, which is a very safe card for my hand, so when he leads out for 50, I go ahead and quickly make the call, and he shows up with one of the hands I thought he could have, but the hand he had was actually ace king club and club, so he had a monster flush draw, so I could have bet, but I think if I bet, he's going to put me in the blender on the river, and probably he might check raise the turn. So maybe the check worked out better. So I scoop that pot, and it gives me a little bit of confidence, as I wrote in the notes here, and I order a beer to shake off the nerves. So we order our first beer of the day. We have 640 in front of us, and we're feeling pretty good. So it's probably about 20, 30 minutes go by, starting to settle into the game. The jitters of the 2-5 curse is starting to wear off. And I go ahead and get pocket threes, and it's actually, I have the threes in, it's a 4-way limp pot. I have the threes in a big blind. I check them. And the flop comes king, king, 3. Yes, sir. Here we go. Now, there's a great chance someone has a king. My dude Mike, he's an older gentleman. I wouldn't say he's your OMC, but, I mean, he'll get out of line. He'll put some bluffs in there, but he's a good opponent and a really great guy. Me and him talked about golf the whole time me and him were at the two tables. We started out at 2-2 together. Now we're at 2-5. But anyways, he's the opponent in this hand. He goes ahead and leads out for 20. I go ahead and call because I got the trap in right here. And then the turn is the 10 of hearts. And he goes ahead and checks. And in this moment, I think about betting, but I feel like I have the board just so locked up. I kind of want to give him a chance to catch up and see if he'll take another stab. Because if he's just taking a stab on the flop, he's probably just going to, give up. So he goes ahead. He was the big blind, by the way, and I was the button. So I check it back for deception. I'm hoping he takes a stab on the river. Like I said, my image is, usually if I bet I got it, he knows this. So he goes ahead, and the river's the 9. So now Queen Jack comes in, which is kind of nice, and he leads out for 20. So now I'm thinking about what I should do. So I go ahead and raise it up to 65, and he thinks about it for just a second and makes the call, and he turns over King 3. King 3. I was dead. He flopped me dead. Oh, this 2-5 curse is real, y'all. It's real. I lose the minimum. Let's start off by saying that. I lost the minimum there. But what a sick, sick flop. And I understand why he didn't go too crazy, because he knows, he's got King 3 in a big blind, and the board comes King, King 3. I mean, he's got the board locked. The only thing I could have is a king. Oh, man. So frustrating. But anyways, let's move on to the next hand. So this next spot is kind of weird. So there's a dynamic going on between two fellows at the table, and they're going back and forth verbally. Nothing malicious, just they're going back at each other. You can see that they're having a leveling war. So I look down at pocket 10s. I open up to 15. The guy to my left, Wisconsin, he goes ahead and makes it 50. And then the guy across the table that he is pretty much jarring with goes ahead and shoves all in. Now, before I could even have time to think, Wisconsin says he calls. They both of them have around 200 in their stack, and both players expose their hand to each other. The guy across the table has ace king, and Wisconsin has ace jack. And I'm trying to stop them. I'm trying to tell them, hey, wait, I got a hand. So I could make my decision, but they show both their hands. I feel bad because now I know in my head, and they have some of their outs blocked. But I go ahead and put in the call, and y'all ain't gonna believe this. I fade the 2-5 curse, and I scoop a pot there. And we get up to the high point of the day. We get up to about 865 after that hand. So really big pot there. Maybe I should have just ordered another beer and left at this moment. Not to ruin what's about to happen, but let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's get him down here. All right. So, a couple hands go by. I'm starting to get a little lower and lower again. And I get into, it was one of them days where every time I folded like a marginal hand, it was the wrong fold. And like there was a hand, well, there was two hands that really been eating at me. Usually when I leave the poker room now from a session, I don't think about missed opportunities or think about hands too much. Unless it's something where I thought I could play it a lot better. But there was a spot where one hand that there was two guys there, like 2-5 so much different than 2-2. The game was amazing. People are like splashing around. They're getting the money out there. But there was a guy to my right. He was a little tighter. And a young Asian kid, he opens up. And my dude goes ahead and makes a big 3-bet to like 85. I got pocket threes. He's only got like 300 behind over here. The other guy, he has a little bit more. But I just ain't getting the right odds, I don't think. So I lay down the pocket threes, which I believe is the correct play because both of them only had about 300. So, and it wasn't no sure thing. I definitely didn't want to go. I mean, I wasn't getting the right odds to set mine against the one opponent. So eventually, both of them end up getting it all in, and it was Ace King versus Ace Jack again, I believe. Anyways, I had pocket threes. I would have flopped a set, turn quads, and it's just irritating. It's so irritating, y'all. Oh man. So irritating. But it was one of them days. Like I lose the minimum there. Like I don't even. I think I might have been the blind or the small blind or something there. So I let that go. But let's go ahead. And then there was another hand with Ace 3 of clubs where it was a 4-way pot, but it was raised up. I think it was. Actually, there was two more hands. It was an Ace 3 of clubs hand and a pocket 8s hand where I didn't think I was getting the right price, and I let it go. One of them I would have hit the nut flush on with the Ace 3 of clubs. The other one I'd have flopped a boat with 8s and would have won two massive pots probably because there was so much action. So, but like I said, I got this 2-5 curse in my head. Maybe I played a little too tight. It's my first time playing with a lot of them players. I don't know them. I don't know what's going on. I didn't play my best. It's easy. You try not to be results oriented in anything, whether it's poker or life. But as I'll talk about another subject here in just a minute, it's just one of them days where if you went left, you should have went right, and if you went right, you went left. But anyways, we get to now we have about 5. We dwindle back down after some hands that we just missed, and I get a bluff through, and I get back up, then I'm back down. Anyways, we're about 580 when this hand comes up. I look down at pocket 10s. So I go ahead and raise. Wisconsin to my left, he flats. And the guy that's been super aggressive makes it 50. I'm definitely calling him. Maybe I should be putting in a 3-bet here. I'm not sure. Like I said, like all these opponents are new to me. I'm really not trying to get coolered. And I played a little skittish and a little scared, to be honest with y'all. I don't know why. It wasn't like the 500 buy-in is that big of a deal. I play on stream with it. Y'all seen me play. I played a 75 VPIP on stream. So I don't know what it was. Maybe it's just the 2-5 curses in my head. But anyways, I'm going to make the call. And the flop comes 3-4-5. And it's not the best flop, but not the worst flop. I got the overpair. It checks around. To me, I was on a button. I go ahead and make it 50. And Wisconsin calls. And then the other guy, he thinks about it. He says he's got a good hand. He says he's got a good hand, but he lets it go. So I'm thinking maybe he had like ace king, ace queen. But I'm surprised he folds there. Anyways, there's 2 clubs on board. I got 2 red 10s. I'm going to put the video of the hand up here. Because it was just an amazing hand. So 10 of clubs comes on the turn. So it does bring in the flush draw. So I go ahead and Wisconsin checks and I bet 100. He calls the 100. So I think if he would have had the flush or a straight, he definitely probably would have got it in right here. So I'm taking them kind of off them type of hands. Now I'm starting to think that maybe he has like an overpair or maybe he just has a high club now. Maybe like ace of clubs with another card and he's trying to hit a straight. So the turn comes the 4 of diamonds. So now the board is 3, 4, 5, 10, 4. And I hold pocket 10. So I got top boat. He checks. I got about 310 behind at this point. I go ahead and stick it in. And as soon as I say all in, he says, I win. And I look at him. I say, you win. He looks at me and goes, yeah, bud, I got quads. He turns over pocket fours. I lose quads to top boat. Again. This was the hand that killed me in Vegas mentally. I've talked about it. And now it's happened again. At 2-5. The curse is real, y'all. The curse is real. So, I get up very graciously, fist bump Wisconsin, tell everybody at the table good luck, grab all my stuff, grab my couple bottles of water that I'd ordered because I was about to leave pretty soon anyways, head to the restroom and do the walk of shame out past the cashier, cashing out nothing, and on the day I lose $570. It definitely stung. I think the reason it stung is because the game was so amazing and I knew there was so much opportunity for profit. And I waited and I battled and I battled and I battled for hours just to get massively coolered. The 4 of diamonds was a true 1-outer. 2%. If this happens online, everybody is screaming it's rigged, it's juice for action. No, y'all, it's poker. If you had seen my last few sessions, they've been so chaotic and so wild with run-outs and coolers left and right. It is the game. The game is brutal. Poker is brutal. That's why poker and life are so much alike. Bad beats, bad run-outs, bad things happening is what poker and life, and that is probably why I'm so intrigued by poker and trying to beat the game. Because it's like trying to survive and beat poker is trying to survive and beat life. It's really a lot alike. And that's why I want to talk about something else. For y'all that have watched my stuff, y'all have heard me talk about my father a lot. But y'all probably ain't heard me talk about my mother. So my biological mom, she left when my parents got divorced when I was really young. And me and my mom's relationship was severed from there. Doesn't matter what happened. It's in the past. She made decisions. She did things, but it's in the past. That was probably when I was 7 or 8. I'm now 42. My mom has never been in my life at all. I've tried once or twice over the last 30 years to try to build some type of relationship or reach out, and every time it always went bad. I've not physically seen my mom in probably over 20 years. I could walk by her and probably would not even recognize her, to be honest with y'all. I never had a mom. And I didn't really think it was a big deal until I got a little older, and then I started to see that not having a mom really did affect me. I have a lot of people think Diggs is my brother, and he is. Diggs is my brother. Swaggy, Matt, they're my brothers. I do have a half brother. We got the same mom, different dads. My brother's had a rough life. I'm not going to sit there and I ain't going to tell no lies. Now, a lot of what he did, he brought on to himself, and I learned a lot from his mistakes. I got much love for him, but him I've not seen in years. And here recently, he finally started to get his life together. And it's been a long road for him. And I'm proud of him. And he'll never see this, I'm sure. My mom definitely won't ever see this. My biological mom, she's not really my mom, unfortunately. And what's sad is, like, when I was on the Best Bet live stream, you know, I get a happy birthday message from my brother, and she might have sent one. I can't remember because I was at the table when I received them. And they're like, where she lives is like 30 minutes from the live stream. If she wanted to, she could have been following my journey, seeing what I've accomplished. If anyone should know what I've been through, she should know. So in that night, I kind of made the decision that, like, that door's always closed to me. And I know that's hard, and I know people are probably going to judge me for that. But she never made no effort. And I'm tired of bending over backwards. My brother, I know, like, he wanted to repair it. Like, he's been sending me messages and stuff. And finally, yesterday, I told him, I said, man, I love you, bro. Like, you know, I'm glad you're getting your life together. But from the time I was 17, when my father died, I've been pretty much on my own. And I made it. I survived. It ain't been easy. It ain't been sunshine and rainbows. There have been a lot of days I wanted to quit. That's probably why I care so much. And when I meet people that I can see going through the struggles I went through, that's why I care so much. There's a young man, and I know he's going to watch this. When I see you, I see a lot of myself. And I know you're battling. And I know one time I told you I could see your struggles, and you're like, how do you see it? I ain't told you nothing, but I can see it, I can feel it. When you're the type of person who's been through a lot, you can see it in other people. The way they talk, the way they act, you can see it. And I'm going to do everything I can to help that young man out, because I do see a lot of myself in him. He might be a little bit more, no, I ain't going to say, well, he might be a little bit more wilder than I was in some aspects, but I get it. It's tough, man. Life is tough. Poker's tough. Dealing with losses is tough. I've dealt with a lot. I said I lost my dad when I was 17. Right after that, my best friend in high school, I was best man in his wedding. You know, he died in a motorcycle accident. And to be honest with you, when that happened to him, his mom was like really close to all of us. And seeing the pain that she was in made me see what a mother's love was about. I never had that. So to her, Miss Veronica, you were the first time I saw what a mother's love was supposed to be like. And I, like, why the good Lord decided to take Sean like that, I'll never understand. He left a young kid behind, he left a wife behind, and he left a very loving family behind. Another loss I had to deal with. That was my best friend. From there, I lost my grandparents, which was my dad's parents after that. Like, losses add up. They hurt. They hurt bad. I struggle with them. You're supposed to be able to cope for, you know, what's the word? You know, get over it. But you never really do, to be honest with y'all. That's probably why, you know, going back, like I said, poker, I still think about when I lost, the last time I lost top boat the quads. Now I do it again. So losses do add up. They do bother you. But you got to keep on moving on. I will conquer 2-5. I will conquer it. Because I sat in the game for a long time, and it wasn't like I felt like I didn't really get outplayed, but I got to play a little bit more smarter, got to get used to it, but monetary value is a thing for someone like me, you know, to give you an idea, and this would be, I think it's a good way to really talk about it. I lost a 1.2K pot with the top boat over quads. That's what my paycheck is every 2 weeks from my 9 to 5. That's what I make. Maybe a little bit more than that, but roughly. So I lost 2 weeks of my paycheck. Now, in the grand scheme of things, I've won way more. My bankroll's good, so none of that matters. But let's go ahead and jump into the big board of the week. I just want to kind of like talk about that, because I want to be real with y'all. And losses do add up, and I took a lot, and just want to share a little bit of like real life, because I do believe there's some people now watching that when they hear what I'm saying, they can relate to it and maybe it'll make a difference. So let's go to the live. Of course, we had a big losing week. We lose 570. And then, here we go. So hours, the last time I updated y'all, they were 38 of 300. And now we're up to 48 of 300. So our hours were starting to do good. Winnings, we were at 1595 for the year. We lose 570, so that drops us down to 1,025. We're trying to get to 10K. Not the end of the world, y'all. Especially if I keep on getting 2-5, because either we're going to go on a massive downswing or a massive upswing, because them games are juicy. Wow, that was a juicy game. Anyways, so live stream, we're still 1 of 10. Different rooms, we're still 2 of 10. Online, so since last time I updated, I played 10 hours of online, so we were at 15 of 300. I played 10 hours in the last 2 weeks, so 25 of 300. Man, the online grind is hard. I told y'all that before. On global, I was minus 1333. On ignition, I was plus 3544. So that is a net gain of $22.11 on the 10 NL challenge. So we go from 90.91 to 113.02 of the 1K. We're 1/10 of the way. The quicker I get to this goal, the better I'm gonna feel about life, y'all. Man, online, maybe I got burned out from doing it back 3-4 years ago, but it's hard to get back into the grind of online and just so much going on. Trying to do the golf charity stuff and the live streams and everything. So it's definitely a mental toughness that you have to play online. I know online breaks a lot of people. So let's go to YouTube subscribers. We were at 722 the last time, 2 weeks ago when we did the big board. And now we're up to 758 subs. So maybe we'll get to 1K here in a couple of months. The public watch showers, we're almost to 1K of the 4K we need to get monetized. Unless things change, y'all, I just don't see the channel getting monetized. I mean, it's not the end of the world. It was something that I really wanted to do. It kind of gives you, some type of feeling, I guess, or whatever. I don't know. But personal, the diet and exercise, it's been hit or miss. I definitely ain't been doing as good as I have, but I'm definitely doing better overall. And we'll stay on that. So I believe that's going to do it for this week. Like I said, it was just a rough week. And to be honest with y'all, I'm tired. I really am. I'm mentally and physically tired as I shoot this. Maybe it's just time to take a deep breath, regroup a little bit and just shake off some stuff. Like I said, the whole situation with my biological mom and finally closing the door on it was hard. So definitely takes an emotional toll on somebody. But it's part of life. It's part of poker. Like I said, you got to deal with losses and gains, and that's just part of it. So anyways, I will be back next week and hopefully bring y'all some positive results. If not, we will stay in depression mode. No, I'm just kidding, y'all. I love y'all. Froggy, get better. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.